To enable us to include some key additional information in these closing comments, we re-recorded them. Thank you for taking the time to participate in our conference. As well, I would like to thank our many speakers who have taken the time to prepare and participate in this conference. In particular, I would like to thank Colonel Mark Reed, who opened this conference for us. Our conference moderator, Dr. Sweta Chakrabarti, our 4 keynote speakers, Honorable Sherry Goodman, James Grabert, Professor Michael Clare, and James Bezan. As well, I would like to thank our financial sponsors who made this possible, especially Next Hydrogen. I would like to now provide a brief summary of some key points of our conference. At the beginning of the conference yesterday, we played a 2-minute video illustrating the warming trends we are on and the need for large-scale action. Now I want to show you one of the graphs from the video, and in addition, another important graph to illustrate where we are at today. This is the graph from the video that shows a steadily rising atmospheric CO2 levels measured at the Mauna Loa Observatory in Hawaii between 1958 and 2021. As you can see, the trend keeps going up, even though there's been a huge increase in renewable energy implemented around the world in the last 20 years. The same is occurring in measured methane levels in the atmosphere, which is another greenhouse gas. The important indicator in both of these graphs is that the net effect of all human activities to mitigate climate change seems to be very limited. These greenhouse gas levels keep rising, like we are collectively in a business as usual mode. To provide you with an idea of the rising levels of greenhouse gases means in terms of expected climate warming pathway, I will show you a 1-minute segment of this video that is shown at the opening of this conference.
In 1990, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, or IPCC, published their first assessment report. They modeled a series of scenarios estimating the expected rise in CO2 levels. The business-as-usual case was deeply concerning. Fast forward to the panel's 5th report in 2014. In it, they referred to different scenarios called representative concentration pathways, or RCPs. The worst-case scenario, RCP 8.5, leads to a particularly grim result. Unfortunately, between 2005 and 2020, cumulative CO2 emissions have tracked within 1% of RCP 8.5. Without substantial action to reduce CO2 and other greenhouse gas emissions, we can expect to experience the worst-case scenario. Under this worst-case scenario, warming outcomes have been estimated to be approximately 4.5 degrees Celsius. This will likely lead to catastrophic results including crashing ecosystems, rapidly rising sea levels, and the forced migration of billions of people. In other words, the current path we are on is a pathway to disaster.
But it does not have to be this way. As outlined during the sessions yesterday, this pathway can be changed. There are 2 major critical factors that are in our favor. We have the needed technology and nature-based solutions that can be implemented on a global scale. There is sufficient money in the global financial system to implement these solutions on a scale that is needed. What we need now is the political will for action on a sufficiently large scale, which means action on an unprecedented level in the next 10 years. In order to build the necessary political will in democratic countries, we need to create broad-based support for this level of action. The key to building this broad-based support is to bridge the gap between believers and doubters on the need for climate action on a sufficiently large scale. Fortunately, military and intelligence experts are uniquely positioned to speak out about these impacts on human security to build more support for action on this scale. As well, civil society can help build broad-based support by helping to develop strategies that enable everyone to benefit from implementing large-scale action. In summary, currently the world's on a pathway to disaster. We have the knowledge and the financing resources to change this pathway. What is needed now is the political will along with broad-based support to take the necessary action on a sustained basis. To achieve the results we need the next 10 years, we need your help to build broad-based support for sustained climate action on a sufficiently large scale. Please visit climatesand.org/CTA to learn how you can take action to make a difference. Thank you for your interest in this important issue, and I also want to thank you in advance for taking action.